Hi, welcome to RN Tutorials. So here the tutorials about engineering mechanics. So here it is the lecture 2, which is on system of forces and resolution of a force. So here first, what do you mean by a system of forces? A system of forces is defined as the number of forces acting on a body simultaneously. That means here the number of forces will be acting on a body simultaneously. It means more than one force will be acting on a body at a time. So that is system of forces. A set of forces acting on a body are called as a system of forces. So here consider it is as a body, so on which the number of forces are acting in different directions simultaneously. So F1, F2, F3, F4, F5 are the five number of forces at a time acting on the body, which are considered as a group. So that group is called as a system of forces. Next, here there are different types of system of forces. So again, in system of forces there are different types. So what are they means? First one is coplanar forces, and second one is non-coplanar forces. So again, what do you mean by coplanar system of forces, and what do you mean by non-coplanar system of forces? So coplanar forces are the system of forces which act only in one plane. Okay, here the set of forces will be acting in only one plane. Generally, we have three planes as xy, yz and zx. So here when we consider coplanar forces, the all forces will be acting any one of those planes. So here is a xy plane, and in this plane the number of forces F1 and F2 are acting like this into different direction. So these set of forces in xy plane is called as coplanar force system. Okay. Next, non-coplanar forces. Non-coplanar forces are the system of forces which act in more than one plane, for example xy, yz and zx. It means a set of forces will be acting in all the planes. It means more than one planes, the forces will be acting on a body. So here the planes are given as three-dimensional planes xy, yz and zx. So here how the forces will be acting means F1 is acting in a plane of xy, and F2 is acting in a plane of yz, and F3 is acting in a plane of zx. Like this, in different planes the number of forces will be acting on a body. So these kind of set of forces are called as system of forces, like non-coplanar force system. Next, again here, depending upon the line of action of various forces, the forces are classified as following. Here, based upon the line of action of force, the forces are again classified into various types. Here we are discussing about the types of forces. So first one is linear forces, second one is concurrent forces, and third one is parallel forces, and fourth one is non-concurrent non-parallel forces. So these are the different types of forces based upon the line of action taking place on a body. So here first, linear forces. These are the forces which act in same direction and in same line. It means the number of forces acting on a body, for those forces the line of action will be lying on the same line. So that means if you consider more than two forces, if the two forces are acting on a body, if we assume, so the line of action of those forces will be in same line. So that means consider here it is a body, as a body. So F1 is acting like this, and F2 is also acting in the same direction, which is aligned with the line of direction of the F1 force. It means here the F1 and F2 both forces will be lying on the same line. So these kind of forces are called as collinear forces. Next, concurrent forces. These are the forces which act from same point. It means here the number of forces will be acting from the same point, either outwards of the body or towards the center of the body. It means more than one forces will be acting on a body at only one point. Okay, so here consider this as a body. The number of forces will be acting like this in concurrent force system. Sorry. So here F1, F2, F3, F4 are the concurrent forces which are acting one point, that is same point on the body. So these kind of force system are called as concurrent force system. Next, third one is parallel forces. These are the forces whose lines of action parallel to each other. It means when we consider a number of forces acting on a body, the line of action of those forces will be parallel to each other. So again, consider a body. The forces are acting like this. So in this condition, we can say clearly that F1, F2 and F3 are parallel to each other, but the direction is different. But here, all the forces acting on a body are parallel to each other. So these kind of forces are called as parallel forces. Next, non-concurrent, non-parallel forces. These are the forces which are neither parallel and nor intersect at a common point. So these are totally opposite to the concurrent forces and parallel forces. It means the number of forces will be acting on a body at random. So consider here it is a body and the forces are acting sorry acting like this. That means here these are the forces which are not parallel to each other and nor they are acting from same point. So these kind of forces are called as non-concurrent, non-parallel forces. Non-concurrent means they don't have a common point for the line of action of force. Non-parallel means they won't be parallel to each other. So that is about non-concurrent, non-parallel forces. Next we discuss about resolution of a force. Here it is a process of replacing one force as a number of forces with without changing the effect of force acting on a body. So here a force can be replaced by two other forces without changing the effect of that force acting on the body. So here we can resolve one force into two mutually perpendicular directions. That means we can resolve one force into two components which will be perpendicular to each other, and these two resolved parts are called as components of a force. So here we are saying we can divide one force into two directions, those are mutually perpendicular to each other, and those two parts are called as components of a force. So let us consider this is a force F acting with an inclination to the horizontal plane. Assume. So we can resolve this force into two components, and those two components will be mutually perpendicular to each other like this. So the horizontal component of the force F is called as Fx, and the vertical component of the force is called as Fy. So like this, we have to represent the two components of a force F as Fx, that is in x direction, as Fy, that is in y direction. Next, the resultant force can be written as, here the F is the resultant force of Fx and Fy. So that resultant force F can be written as in terms of Fx and Fy, that is as F is equal to square root of Fx square plus Fy square. Like this, we can get the resultant force F in terms of Fx and Fy. Next, if we consider theta is an angle made by the resultant force with respect to the horizontal plane, so here the theta value can be written in terms of tan theta. So the tan theta equal to, we can write it as Fy by Fx. So from this, the theta is equal to, we can write it as tan inverse of Fy by Fx. It means here, if we know the two components of the force F, we can find out the inclination of the force with respect to the horizontal plane, that is theta. So that theta is equal to tan inverse of Fy by Fx. So like this, we can resolve a force into two components, that is in horizontal direction and perpendicular direction. And we can also find out the theta, that is the inclination of resultant force with respect to the horizontal line, by tan theta equal to Fy by Fx. So this is about the system of forces and resolution of a force into two components. I hope you understand my explanation. If you still have any doubts, please feel free to give a comment and don't forget to subscribe to my video. Please subscribe to my channel and thanks for watching my video. Thank you so much.